Margaret changed banks on a Friday. Her new checking account was open, her debit card worked, and the teller assured her that everything looked complete. So, Margaret closed the old account and moved the remaining balance that same afternoon. 12 days later, her Social Security payment did not appear. The new bank could not find it. The old bank could no longer accept it, and 3 automatic bills were scheduled to leave Margaret's account within 48 hours. Her benefit had not been cut. Her eligibility had not changed. One small banking mistake had broken the route between Social Security and the account where her money was supposed to arrive. Margaret is a hypothetical example, but the mistake behind her story is real. Social Security specifically tells people changing direct deposit to keep the old account open until a payment has successfully reached the new one. The mistake is assuming a banking change is complete before one successful Social Security payment proves the new route works. That single mistake can hide in 3 places: the timing of the account change, the banking numbers you enter, and the way the receiving account is titled. In this video, I will show you all 3 failure points, the exact questions to ask your bank, and the order to follow when a payment is missing. Stay with me through the final failure point, because it is the least obvious. The routing number and account number can both be correct, while the account itself is still set up the wrong way. Before we continue, I want to ask you something. Have you changed banks since you started receiving Social Security? Write yes, no, or not yet in the comments. Your answer may tell you which part of this video deserves the most attention. Let's begin with the first way this one mistake happens: closing the old account before the first payment reaches the new account. This mistake feels responsible. You open the new account, move your money, update the automatic bills, and close the old account so you are not paying 2 sets of fees. From a household budget perspective, that seems organized. But Social Security direct deposit changes do not always move at the same speed as your debit card. When Social Security confirms a direct deposit change, its notices advise beneficiaries to keep the old account open until a payment has been sent to the new account. Those notices also explain that changing where payments are sent can take 1 to 2 months. That does not mean every update will take 2 months. It means you should not assume the change is complete merely because you submitted it. Think of direct deposit as a 3-part handoff. Social Security must update its payment record. Treasury must send the payment using the information on that record. And the receiving financial institution must be able to credit the payment to the correct account. Your online banking screen can show a fully active account while the federal payment route is still pointing somewhere else. That is what happened to Margaret. She updated the information, saw the new account working, and treated the banking change as finished. But her next payment was already moving through the older route. When the payment reached the old bank, the account was closed. A bank may return an electronic payment when the account is closed or when the account information cannot be used. Once the payment is returned, the problem may need to be researched and the payment reissued. The money is not automatically gone, but the household may still experience a delay while the route is corrected. The safe action is simple. Do not close the old account only because the new one has been opened. Keep the old account available until you can see the first Social Security payment successfully posted to the new account. Then confirm with the old bank that no pending federal payment or automatic transaction remains. If account fees make that difficult, speak with both institutions before closing anything. Ask the new bank, is this account fully able to receive federal ACH benefit payments? Then ask the old bank, if a federal payment arrives after I close this account, what will your bank do with it? Do not rely on what a teller remembers from another customer's situation. Ask for the answer that applies to the exact account you hold. There is another version of this mistake. A bank merger or branch change may produce a new routing number, and the bank may send an electronic notification of change to update the payment information. But not every account transition works identically. So if your institution changes names, merges, moves your account to another system, or gives you a new account number, do not assume Social Security automatically has everything it needs. Verify the information through your personal My Social Security account, through Social Security directly, or through your bank if it offers Social Security's automated enrollment process. The rule is not, Never close an old account. The rule is, never remove the old landing place until the new landing place has received the payment. That protects the root. But even when both accounts remain open, the same core mistake can appear in a second way. The next failure point is copying the right-looking number from the wrong place. A direct deposit instruction usually depends on three small pieces of banking information: the routing number, the account number, and whether the account is checking or savings. Those fields look simple. That is exactly why people complete them too quickly. A routing number used for direct deposit contains 9 digits. The account number identifies your individual account, and the checking or savings selection tells the payment system what kind of account should receive the money. One incorrect digit can matter. Choosing checking when the receiving arrangement requires savings can matter, and using a routing number printed on the wrong document can matter. Social Security's operating guidance specifically warns not to use the routing number on a deposit slip for direct deposit enrollment. A deposit slip number may be used internally by the institution and may not be the correct routing number for receiving federal ACH deposits. That detail surprises many people because the deposit slip has the bank's name printed on it. It looks official. But printed by the bank does not automatically mean correct for Social Security direct deposit. A check can also contain a hidden complication. If your account is with a credit union, investment company, or smaller institution, the check may say "payable through" and show the name of another bank. In that situation, Social Security advises contacting the institution for the correct routing number to use for direct deposit. Do not guess which bank name controls the transfer. Ask the institution this exact question: what routing number and account number should I use specifically for an incoming federal ACH benefit payment? Then ask the employee to read the numbers slowly while you compare them with what you entered. Here is the 3-point readback. First, read the 9-digit routing number from left to right. Second, read the account number and confirm that leading zeros are included if the institution uses them. Third, confirm whether Social Security should classify the account as checking or savings. Do not use your debit card number. Do not assume the number displayed most prominently in the mobile app is the deposit account number. And do not copy from an old check after an account conversion or merger without asking whether the information remains valid. Margaret's neighbor, Thomas, made a different version of this mistake. Thomas opened an account at an investment firm that offered cash management features. The app displayed several numbers, including an investment account identifier and banking instructions for electronic deposits. Thomas entered the number he used to identify the investment account, but the firm required a separate bank routing number and deposit account number for incoming ACH payments. The screen looked familiar. The number was real. It was simply the wrong number for that job. Thomas is also a hypothetical example, but the account structure is common. Some investment accounts receive direct deposits through a partner financial institution, and the receiving instructions may differ from the account number you use inside the investment platform. The same caution applies to prepaid cards. An eligible prepaid account may be able to receive federal payments, but you should obtain the banking instructions from the card provider. The number printed on the front of the card is generally not the direct deposit account number. The safest source is the financial institution receiving the payment. Ask for written direct deposit instructions when possible. Then verify the same information in the Social Security record after the update has been submitted. There is one more reason this mistake deserves attention. Incorrect information does not always fail in the same way. If the routing number or account number is invalid, the payment may be rejected and returned. But if the numbers identify a real account that belongs to someone else, recovery can become more complicated. Never assume the bank will compare every recipient name with every incoming account number before posting the payment. That is why accuracy matters before the payment is sent. Do not treat the bank as a final proofreading system. The direct deposit route should be checked like a medication label. Slowly, twice, and before you rely on it. Now we reach the final failure point. This is the part most families do not realize belongs to the same banking mistake at all. Using an account that does not properly show who owns the benefit or using a type of account that Social Security does not accept for direct deposit. Federal benefit payments are not supposed to be sent to just any convenient financial account. Social Security requires the beneficiary's ownership interest to be reflected in the account title, subject to special rules for representative payees and certain other arrangements. For an ordinary beneficiary managing their own money, that generally means the person should be an owner or co-owner of the receiving account and retain appropriate control of the funds. A spouse's account may feel like a household account. A child's account may feel safer because the child handles online banking. A caregiver may say, "Send the check to me and I will pay everything." But family trust does not replace correct account ownership. Suppose Helen receives her own Social Security retirement benefit. Her son David pays many of her bills, so Helen considers directing her payment into an account owned only by David. From the family's perspective, the money is still being used for Helen. From the payment system's perspective, Helen's ownership may not appear in the account title. The correct solution is not to improvise. If Helen can manage her own benefits but wants help, she can explore an account where she remains an owner and chooses appropriate banking authority. If Social Security has appointed David as Helen's representative payee, separate rules apply. The account title generally must show that Helen owns the funds and that David holds only a fiduciary role, although Social Security recognizes limited exceptions for certain spouses or parents living in the same household. Being a power of attorney does not automatically make someone a Social Security representative payee. Social Security appoints representative payees through its own process. That distinction matters because a family member may have legal authority under a power of attorney, but still needs Social Security's approval before receiving and managing benefits as a representative payee. The account type matters too. Social Security accepts many common arrangements, including qualifying checking and savings accounts, certain prepaid accounts, and some properly structured investment, ABLE, or trust accounts. But its operating rules list business accounts, loan accounts, mortgage accounts, and other accounts from which funds cannot be withdrawn as unacceptable for direct deposit. Imagine a retiree with a small business. The business checking account already receives customer payments, so using it for Social Security may seem efficient. But a commercial account is not an acceptable direct deposit destination under Social Security's rules. The problem is not that the retiree owns the business. The problem is that a business account and a personal benefit account serve different legal and banking purposes. This is why the core mistake can survive a routing number check. The routing number may be correct. The account number may be correct. The account may be open, but the ownership or account category may still need correction. Here is the account ownership test. Ask the bank, exactly how is this account titled in your records? Then ask, am I listed as an owner, co-owner, signer, agent, beneficiary, or something else? Those words are not interchangeable. A signer may be allowed to transact without owning the account. An agent under a power of attorney may act during the owner's lifetime without becoming an owner. A payable on death beneficiary may inherit the account later without having current ownership. For Social Security direct deposit, you need to know what the bank's records say today. If a representative payee is involved, ask Social Security and the institution how the account must be titled. Do not simply create a normal joint account and assume it satisfies fiduciary rules. Now, put the 3 failure points together. Margaret closed the old route too soon. Thomas copied a real number that was wrong for direct deposit. Helen almost used an account that did not properly show her ownership. Each person believed the bank account was working. That is what makes this one mistake so easy to miss. A debit card can work while the federal payment route is outdated. A number can be valid while it is wrong for ACH deposits. An account can hold money while it is not acceptable for a particular federal benefit arrangement. So before your next payment, complete what I call the Social Security deposit audit. It takes about 15 minutes. First, open your bank's official direct deposit instructions. Confirm the routing number, account number, and account type. Second, check how the account is titled. Make sure the beneficiary's ownership is properly reflected, or that an approved representative payee arrangement follows Social Security's rules. Third, Check your Social Security direct deposit record through an official channel. Your personal My Social Security account is the fastest option for many benefit types. Depending on the benefit you receive, you may need to contact Social Security, and some banks can submit an update through an automated enrollment process. Fourth, if you recently changed accounts, keep the old account open until a payment has successfully posted to the new one. Do not use a successful test transfer from your own account as proof that Social Security's record has changed. A personal transfer tests the new bank account, not the federal payment instruction. Fifth, create a one-payment emergency buffer if your budget allows. This does not fix direct deposit, and many households cannot set aside an entire month at once. But even a smaller reserve can help prevent a temporary banking delay from turning into late fees, overdrafts, or missed medication and utility payments. Now, let's talk about what to do when the payment date arrives and the money is not there. Do not begin by changing the direct deposit information again. Repeated changes can make the route harder to understand while the original payment is being traced. First, confirm that it is actually the scheduled payment date. If the regular date falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or legal public holiday, Social Security generally pays on the business day before the due date. Next, contact your bank or financial institution. Social Security's official guidance says to contact the bank first, because the institution may be experiencing a delay in posting the payment. Ask the bank to search for an incoming federal ACH credit, a rejected deposit, a return deposit, or a payment sent to an old or restricted account. Use the exact payment amount and scheduled date. If the bank cannot locate the payment, contact Social Security. Report the payment as late or missing and ask the representative to verify whether it was issued, which routing and account information was used, and what action is required. If the payment was due, Social Security says it will review the case and replace the payment when appropriate. Do not pay anyone to release the deposit. Do not move money to a so-called safe account. And do not give a one-time security code to someone who unexpectedly calls and says they are correcting your Social Security payment. Use the phone number or website you reached independently. A genuine banking error is stressful enough. Do not let urgency turn it into fraud. Margaret eventually learned that her payment had been routed toward the account she closed. The bank and Social Security had to identify the returned payment and correct the destination. Her benefit was still hers, but the delay forced her to move money from a small emergency savings account to protect the mortgage and utility payments. The event changed one habit permanently. Margaret no longer asks, "Did I submit the banking change?" She asks, "Has the new route completed one full payment?" That is the difference between information entered and information proven. Remember the one mistake, assuming the new banking route is complete before one successful Social Security payment proves it. Do not close the old account until the first payment reaches the new one. Do not copy banking numbers from a deposit slip, debit card, or unfamiliar app screen without confirming the exact federal ACH instructions. And do not assume an account is eligible merely because a trusted family member can access it. Confirm the owner. Confirm the route. Confirm the account type. Then verify one successful payment before removing the old path. Your Social Security benefit may be one of the most predictable parts of your retirement income. The bank route carrying it should be just as predictable. Share this video with one person who has changed banks, opened a cash management account, or asked an adult child to help with finances. Not because every banking change creates a problem. Send it because 3 minutes of verification can protect the payment a household depends on for the entire month. This video provides general educational information and is not individualized financial, legal, banking, cybersecurity, or Social Security advice. Procedures can vary according to benefit type, account arrangement, financial institution, representative payee status, and individual circumstances. Verify changes through your financial institution and official Social Security channels before acting.